again, we're going to talk to you about how to solve problems in chemistry. So you'll see this set up in your workbook, the way they have this set up. So let me show you how this works. So when you're a kid and you're trying to figure out how to get things from one place to another, and how to sort things, you did it by trial and error. But in this class, we'll do that sometimes, but we'll try to be more systematic in our approach in this class. So here's a general approach to solving problems that we'll use in this class, and so you'll see this in the workbook and in the book that we use occasionally. So you'll see that they do it this way in the book. So we're going to develop a plan, and we're always going to use that plan. So you'll see this a lot in the problem solving in the workbook. So we're going to use some skills. And there's going to be 3 steps that you'll see in the workbook to solve number problems, or we have to do math. So we're going to analyze the problem first. We're going to get all the given information, and then we're going to figure out what we're trying to solve for. We're going to calculate, and then we're going to see if our answer makes sense. So that's evaluate. So we're going to analyze first. We're going to look at the word problem. It's usually word problems in chemistry. We're going to do the calculations after we know the unknowns and the knowns and calculate it, and then using the right formula, and then we're going to see if we got a good answer. So to solve a word problem, you're going to figure out what is known and what is unknown. So we usually write those out so that we can better figure out what the problem is asking about. And then we're going to figure out a plan of solving for the unknown. So after we have all the information we need, that's the hard part from a word problem. Then we have to use the right formula. So that's the calculation. Usually that's the easier part if we can figure out how to do the math right. And then we see if the answer is correct, and then we round to the right significant figures. So here's an example. You're walking from one place to another, and it's about 8 blocks. And we know that 10 blocks is about a mile, and you are able to walk 1 mile in 20 minutes. We want to know how far that is, how long that will take you. And so I've said out loud the knowns, and then I've also told you what we're trying to figure out. So here's the map. You're going from one place to another. And here's the given. We know we have to go 8 blocks. We know we walk 1 mile in 20 minutes, and we know that a city block, a mile is about 10 city blocks. And we want to know how long it's going to take us to walk. So when we do math in chemistry, you're going to see a lot of this. You're going to have to change from one kind of unit into another. So right here, this is called unit analysis. And we know that 10 blocks will take us, is about 1 mile. And we know we walk about 20 minutes. It takes us 20 minutes to walk 1 mile. So because we know all this information, we can do this thing where we do conversions. This is called a conversion factor right here. So we're going to use these things in our math calculations a lot in chemistry. You're going to see this kind of setup many times in our classes. So we're going to use this thing called unit analysis, using these things called conversion factors. So these things, that means that they're equivalent to each other. These are equivalent to each other. Okay, so we can use those to convert from one kind of unit into another kind of unit. So we'll use this setup a lot. And then we'll see if it makes sense. So 16 minutes seems reasonable. And so this is the way we're going to do math in this problem. And conceptual problem, so that's the math kind of problems. Concept problems are a little different. You have to figure out what they're asking about, and then you have to use English writing to tell what the question's asking about. So we're going to analyze the problem first, the word problem that they're asking about, and then we'll solve, and we'll usually have to write a paragraph or something like that, or short answers to figure that out. Mostly in chemistry you do the math problems though that we first showed you. So I'm going to stop there. And that was just an introduction to how to do, we're not going to do the quiz on this because it's not that important, but the math that I showed you is very, very important. The way we solve and convert from one thing to another. So we'll use that all year long. Thank you so much for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.